I'll wait a few moments. Take it from there. Okay, so it's about 7 right now. I at least could go. Like, I don't even know if I have an hour in me. I don't even. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. Damn. Was I seriously away for 7 days? There's no way I was gone for 7 days. The last 5 followers have been bots. That's fucking hilarious. What's up, Parker? Podcast will start soon, hopefully. Oh, nice. I think I muted the Discords. Oh, I just. Oh, I don't have mobile push on. Alright. Go. Alright. Oh god, what the fuck was that? Oh, that was Shy. Sorry about that, Shy. I will thank your sub in when I can. But thank you, Shy, for the resubscription of Prime. The only real alert that I've had. But yeah, it's a podcast. I think this is actually your first time at the podcast live. Can somebody hold on? Hold on. All right, cool. Everything. Yay. Neato. All right. So, this is technically Wild Cabin Podcast Season 2, Episode 2. Now, if you don't know what this is about, this is basically more of updates than anything. Like, this is what the podcast has been about, like what the fuck's going on, and you know, how am I doing since I don't really stream anymore. Probably later on today I will finally be putting up episode 1 of season 2, and then possibly a few days after this this will go live. I've just been very lackluster. I've just been having still no motivation to do Twitch whatsoever, and YouTube in general. I've literally just, I don't care. Normally this was supposed to be audio only. For season 1, it was audio only, no facial expressions whatsoever. And that's it. I decided I think it's better with facial features, and then the people that are live here, I mean, it probably won't be many, but hey. So the premise, basically, if you're new to the podcast, is one, my way to update people, and two, sort of mental health podcast shit. Of course, we'll talk about games, streaming, and shit like that too, but that's basically what it's been. For probably like about season 1. Normally lasts about an hour to 2 hours, and it's just my way of being like, hey, if people want to communicate that way, then they can. Because I've noticed, like, probably since about a year, my content has just been very sad. Not like sad, but like I get like on serious topics, and it's just like, oh shit, that's not relatable, or that's not game friendly or whatever. And so this is my coping with to talk about it, and since I don't really stream, I gotta put something out there if people give a shit about it. And that's my thing of doing it. Now, first off, just like episode 1, I think I'm definitely still getting better. Right now, it's probably been about, yesterday was 3 months exactly since my uncle passed away, and it's been about 2 months since I stepped away from media and Twitch and everything. Twitch, I like do one-offs. I've noticed where I'm just like, I'll play golf or like Smash or whatever for like 2 hours, and then I'm just not feeling it anymore. So instead of like streaming like 5 times a week, I probably just do it maybe once every 2 weeks or 2 times a week. Yeah, I just don't. I have no motivation. I have no time from it. Like I just don't want to do it, and that's really it. Right now, I mean, I may eventually come to it. I may come back to it. I just don't know. I'm still at that phase where I'm still focusing on myself, and that's it. And I feel better from it. I'm looking better, in my opinion. But my mind honestly still fucked up to the way of, one day I feel great, and then the next day I'm like, oh fuck, life sucks. And I think I'm at the point where it's definitely more positive and working on myself. I keep on putting my elbow up, and then it's just like, if anybody types, then people can't see it, so I apologize for that. And if you are watching and if you have questions or want to participate, by all means. But I'm not gonna be like, hey class, do you have questions? No, I mean, if you want to talk, cool. I know most people just want to put it in the background and just listen it from there. But yeah, I am more on the positive end of things, which is great. I feel great. I think this is my 5th full day back on media. I hate media. I fucking hate media. But we're in the generation. Everything's online. Everything, and it's just like, oh man, why do I hate media? it's just content filled with stupidity, a lot of things. And I'm an old fucking man where I have a body of a 26-year-old, but my mental state is I'm just like 80. I'm just like, this fucking stupid shit. And with news, I stopped watching the news years ago, but you can't avoid it. It's all negative shit. It's just all negative shit, and I hate it, and I'm just like, nope. Nope. I don't need more extra stress than anything else, and that's where I'm at, where I'm sick of toxicity, and it took me a while to really say I don't like toxicity. And with that said, I think being away for months, I've lost very close people, because obviously they say, oh man, oh, I don't care that you don't stream anymore. And all of a sudden, a week goes by, a month goes by, 2 months go by, nothing. And it's a hard feeling. It's just like, oh, okay. But I have trust issues where I'm just like, I don't trust people when you tell me certain shit, because you found me on Twitch years ago, and then we like, you communicated through there, and then when I stopped, of course you have no other reason to talk to me, you know. But with me, where I put myself all out there to make it more relatable, and it's just like, no, if you're not happy, no. And I get that, where I'm just like, I am not a happy person. I'm a nice person, but I am not a happy person, where I completely understand that, where I'm just like, turn me off if, you know, if I make you sad in one way or another, where I'm just like, oh, I'm just like, oh, okay. I get it. What's up, Taylor? I think I know Taylor. But yeah, welcome to the podcast. But yeah, that's my point of view, where I'm just like, okay, I've stopped. I'm just not a happy person, and trust me, if I pull you down in any way, of course, please do leave me. And I expect that. And, you know, people are gonna stay to see me grow, or, you know, hit rock bottom and everything. All my media is down below, or you could do !media, and that'll bring you to all my media. But it's hard. It's really hard. And like I said, really streaming like twice a week, or like once every 2 weeks, it's hard. But on a positive note, you know, with me getting my life back together, I have another paperwork meeting for the new job, which is good. But I think honestly my biggest point, where I either have a chemical imbalance, or I'm just fucking sad, which is fine, you know. I was smart enough to go to, I have a doctor's appointment next week, where see, I for the longest time, I just don't give a shit about myself. I just don't, you know. It's everybody else is important but me. I'm that person where I'm just like, no, I just don't care. I love myself, but I just don't give a shit on what happens to me. So now that I'm like evolving, I'm digivolving to caring about myself and like doing shit that makes me a better person, it feels weird, where I'm just like, oh wow, like, for like, normal people will like think, dude, you're a fucking idiot. But for the first time in a very long time, I scheduled a doctor's appointment because nobody told me to. I'm just like, something is wrong here. I need to get this checked out. and I gotta keep up with my heart problems, which on an update I'm doing better with that. Woo. But I've literally scheduled an appointment next week to find out, if I do have a chemical imbalance. Also to get a refill on my heart meds, but that's different. I'm using that as a crutch, absolutely. But yeah, no, I with getting better, my biggest fear is this has been the happiest, the most smilest I've been. If you check Instagram today, I posted pictures for the first time in a very long time simply because I was happy. Like, I was genuinely like, oh my god, I'm happy. I'm happy today. It's such a weird feeling to be like, wow, maybe all this hard work working on myself is paying off, and I'm just like, whoa. Now, with that being said, a lot of my methods are not normal. I mean, I'll tell you what I do, but I'm gonna put it like this: everybody's different. So what I do to make myself better, and what I did, may not work for you. I'm gonna put that up there. And if you're going through the same thing, it's been a crazy 2 fucking years. And I would love to hear if you're struggling, or how you're getting better. So if you guys don't know, since this is season 2, what I used to do is for the first time in a while in May, no, I'm sorry, and within the last 30 days, I broke one of my rules. Is I actually hit myself again, and I was a self-abuser, not like with a knife or anything. I don't do it to get attention. I just do it because it was my coping mechanism for the longest time, where I used to take a belt and hit my back, like really like leave welts and shit, because I'm just like, I fucked up. That's my punishment, so I don't do it again. But a month ago, I got really angry, and I took my hand and I just punched my knees. Not punched my knees, but punched the back of my leg, like with that fat and muscle, and I just did that. But I've been good for like the last few months. And what I do now is I haven't really I took a lot of my anger, because Twitch, in my opinion, was one of my stressing points, where I took that away. Okay, a lot of stress was gone. Don't play Rocket League, I don't play Hearthstone. Took that stress, threw it away. It's not that I don't play the game still, it's just I don't let it get to me to the point where once you're sad, it just piles up, like with anger, and it's just like, I don't know why I'm angry. Oh no, fucking my shoe's untied, and then it just bottles up, and boom, the smallest thing pissed me off. And the smallest things still do piss me off, but I don't let it get to me as much, which is nice. But I took a lot of things out of my life. See, like this used to piss me off, but it's fine now. Where I'm doing things for the first time in a very long time where my mind is at a good point. Where, with that being said, the biggest hurdle, not like for normal people, but not for me. Nothing's normal, by the way. I'm sorry for using that term. Where it took me months to realize who is a friend and who is not. Being a personality, like myself, it's hard. it's really, really hard to, you know, if people realize one of my sayings is I don't want followers. I don't, you know, I appreciate it if you follow or sub or whatever the fuck you do, but at the end of the day I want friends, you know. And then I developed and thought about it where my thing is, if I'm gonna fail alone, you know. Like things with relationships and close ones, and you know, if I love you enough I'll tell you this, where, you know, if I die, you know, don't care about me, you know. That's that. It's easier said than done, but I don't have trust issues, you know. I trust everybody at the palm of my bat. I don't think that makes sense, but roll with it. Where I don't have trust issues. I have me issues. I have me issues where I know I'm gonna fail, and that's it. Where I'm just like, okay, it's just gonna be to what point I fail at, where I may just have a mental crash, and I've never had that person lift me up, because I don't let them lift me up. I'm just like, nope, no. So, you know, still doing that I know is bad, but my brain process is just like, if you're not here physically, you can't do much. Where for me, I talked about all my problems, and they're so relatable to the niche audience, or they're not, or you can just be like, I thrive on your miserableness, and I'm like, whatever works, bud, you know. But it goes to that point where I'm just like, okay, you know, who's gonna be here at the end of the day? And it's just that one, not that one, and it's just like, and that's really helped, because I told the community this and certain people this, where I'm gonna be gone off of media for about, I don't know how long. You know, I recently came back. I'm not really active, but I'm back. So it's just, if you accept that, great. You know, I'll be here when I'll come back when I'm ready. Then you get that small people where it's just like, you're being selfish for not talking about your problems with me. And my brain is just like what? I'm selfish for telling you I'm gone, I'll be back. Like, it's sort of like a me day, where I'm like, if you don't understand that, I know you want to help, but that's not how I'm working. That's not my, everybody's different. Cut the shit. And then I get defensive. Then I'm just like, you're either gonna understand or you're not. And if you're not here, that's fine. You know, I'm very blunt and to the fucking point, where it's just like, you're here when I come back, and I know you care, or it's just like, well, if you're gone, you're gone, and that's it. And, you know, majority of people, where one of my rules is, you gotta understand where people are coming from. You gotta. Everybody's fucking different. By the way, it's water time, so second. Where, you know, I am one of those people where I am not used to being close with people at all. Where I'm very like, this is new to me, and it's not my way or the highway, because, you know, I'll always talk it out, but sometimes you just get to the mental point where I don't want to snap at you. You know, if I love you enough, and you know yourself better than anybody else. You know you, and that's it. Nobody tells you how to feel or anything or what to do, because you know you better than anything. So my thought process is, if I tell you, hey, you know, I need to be alone because I may snap at you, and I don't mean to, but I will. I fucking will. And that's it. Where it's very hard and then certain toxic people, I'm just like, I'm done with it. And that's media though. There's more toxicity than fuck, I didn't disable it. Oh shit, I'm sorry.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Ah!
How do I disable that?
I don't know if those are real people. That's supposed to be disabled. So I'm sorry, podcast users, if you're listening to that and then you heard that. But shit, so weird. Thank you. Fuck, real people actually just followed, by the way. Thank you, Kerr Diaz and ha 20. I'm so sorry. Normally this is a podcast. I'm embarrassed now, and I don't stream that often anymore. That's supposed to be disabled, but I'm sorry. But welcome to the podcast. Give me 1 second. I don't even know how to disable that, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's do that. All right, cool. But thank you. If you have any questions, please enjoy. I don't know how long you've been here, but hopefully you enjoy the podcast. I do game sometimes, but what was I talking about? Oh yeah, there are more toxicity people on media than positive, where, let's be real, who does not, like, everybody has their phone by them. And I talked about this last episode, where, so I'm gonna keep it niche. Everybody has a cell phone. Everybody is probably on one form of media, via Reddit, I don't know. Man, you really like, I don't know what that is. Oh, I don't want to start banning people. I don't know what that is. But everybody has their phone by them. And mostly everybody is on one form of media or one another. Where may it be Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, etc. But no matter what, even Google to a certain point, where you'll go online and you'll be like, shit, that's the news, and you will look at it and it's more toxicity. Why is there more toxic than positive? Because toxicity and negative shit gets people's attention. It's fucking true. Where you could be like, oh man, I only read, no. In the United States, there was a statistic, if you're driving on the freeway or the highway and you're coming up to a car crash, 80% of people will look to their side and they'll be like, oh, that's a car crash. Because we thrive on fucking misery and destruction. And it is what it is. That's the world we live in, where it's just like, I'm very different, where I'm just like, misery fucking sucks. Misery fucking sucks, where it's hard for me. You know, I like I said earlier, I am not a happy person. I'm not a happy person, mainly because the stupidest shit pisses me off, and I know what'll happen to me, and there's no way I could live in my dream world. And that's just what it is. So me taking those months away and basically locking my phone and not going on the PC, it's been great. And, you know, I think a lot of people should do it more often, even if it's just a week. Even if it's just a week. You know, stay away from media. Differentiate your routine. That was a hard word to say. Differentiate. Cool. Where it's one of those things where I stayed away for about 2 months, and I didn't do nothing. And I got outside more. Unfortunately, due to Arizona and monsoon season, it's been crazy. But I've tried to get outside my routine, tried to do new things, and I feel better from it. I really do. And you know, like I said, I really lack motivation for certain things. I really do. I really lack the motivation how to be positive, because I just don't know. A lot of people tell me I'm positive. I'm just more of a realist, where I've literally been in the shittiest dumps possible, where I have to look on the bright side, where I'm just like, fuck. And you know, that's a very good trait that I like to have. But also on the fact, a lot of people don't like change. And I think I was talking to somebody recently about change, where change, a lot of people think change is negative and scary and this and that, but change is just change, where everybody copes differently, where a lot of people are so used to the routine, myself included, with certain things, where I don't really have friends. You know, I online friends and real life friends are different, and that's just it. Where I've had more online friends than real friends, but to a certain point, you can't do a lot of things with online friends. And I'm that person where if I want to go golfing, I'll go golf by myself or bowl by myself, and do a lot of things by myself, where a lot of people just want somebody with them, where it's hard. It's really hard to be alone. I guess. I mean, where it's easier to be comfortable than do things, and you know, it sometimes you just got to push yourself to do something different. And you know, that's definitely have made me feel better. Yeah. Gross. And that is just one thing where I've been better, and I'm very happy to be better, where, like I said, being able to smile, like a genuine fucking smile, not like the smile that I do on Twitch sometimes, where I just like do a smirk, where I'm just like, hey, look, I'm happy. And it's good. It's good. Now I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to talk about now. I don't know. Let me look up something real quick, because I fucked up by not disabling that. So this is gonna be, I guess, an intermission time. So if you guys have any questions, I still don't know what that is, Betty. Oh. Oh. Alright, well, whatever. I just looked it up. Gross. But yeah, remind me to. It's already disabled in the future, but I gotta enable it. But I mean, that was the perfect example, just like that there. So a lot of negative people. But I mean, I also, hold on. I also feel like with people, with people in general, I truly think it's easier to be negative out there than positive. I think a lot of people put their hate toward other people, and you know, people that are nice, I feel like keep them to themselves, in my opinion. I think negative people would rather project their shitty lives on other people than just try to fix it, if that makes sense. Where I think this world is cruel, and the leadership, especially for young adults and kids, they don't have that anymore. I feel like a lot of parents just don't give a shit. They don't guide. I've talked about this on stream before, where I think the leadership roles are fucking stupid. Where if so, what I mean by leadership roles with like parents and everything else like that, where nobody disciplines their kid. Nobody. I haven't seen a parent in public that disciplines their kid in any way, shape, or form. Like they'll be like, they'll tug on them, and that's fucking it. But disciplining, like there's no discipline anymore. Where I think I was the last generation statistically, but I know there's still forms that of old school parents out there where the age of having a kid is so much lower than what it was before, where it used to be 30, 35 having a kid. Now, believe it or not, the median is what was it, 18 to 23 or some shit like that, where I'm 26, all right, and never in a million years I thought, especially in high school, when I looked at somebody where I'm just like, I want to have babies with you. And guess what? It's so sad to say. I'll get to that in just 1 second. A lot of people think, oh fuck, you know, if I have sex, I won't get pregnant at this young age. 8 out of times they do. What kind of sort of disciplining are you talking about? A lot. I mean, I'm not saying hit your kid, but hit your kid. No, I'm kidding. Where like a lot of parents, like my point of view was, they would instead of teaching your kid, they will give their kid a cell phone and be like, here, play on my iPad. For me, yet again, it goes to the standpoint where everybody is different. Everybody, every parent, I'm not telling you what the fuck to do, but it goes to something where you don't discipline your kid will never know what the fuck right and wrong is, and it just goes to the point where there's just more toxic people, and where those kids will grow up and they'll ruin the country, they'll ruin Earth, if you will. I mean, a lot of people, I think, now either keep to themselves or they're online. I mean, it's just one of those two things where, like I said before, nobody has privacy anymore. Nobody. In this day and age, to get success in a lot of side hustles, you need media. You need media. You know, and it's fucked up in my opinion. And that's one of the things that really pissed me off, where you can't escape it. TV, commercials, media, TikToks, ads, Instagram. You can't avoid it. You go on Google or Yahoo and you're just like, top news, so and so fucking does this. And for me, I look at it and I'm like, I don't fucking give a shit. But you can't escape it. You just can't escape it. And a lot of those are parents' faults. You know, it's true. Where at a certain age, you can't expect a kid to take responsibility for their actions. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If they're under the age of 16, there's a lack of guidance there. Absolutely. And I'm not saying like everybody's perfect or be like, man, Joe's the man, fuck him. Where I know I'm an asshole. I know I'm an asshole. But I put it to the point of view where it makes sense. Where, okay, one of the things that I think have changed because how it evolved, where really the only lobbies I'm taking video games as an example. So back in the day, there were a lot more video game chat rooms or like a lobby and you have your mic suited up. If you call a fucking person an artard or some shit, I'm not gonna blame that person for being a fucking asshole. I'm not, because they don't know better. And like I said, I don't want to be like, oh man, Joe knows, whatever Joe says, is right or some shit. But it gets to the point where it was a very bad form of people being dickheads for no fucking reason. And it's just like, I am not a victim, but I was one of those people that raged at Rocket League, not for somebody doing stupid or anything. I was mad because I was that fucking idiot where, I fucked up. I screamed and I yelled because I fucked up. I should have made that goal or whatever. But calling people certain names still exist. And today was the perfect example where I had a random person I never met before, just be rude for no reason. I mean, it's funny because you can't make this shit up. Where people will literally go in other Twitch chats, do something so fucking stupid, and that makes them feel better. Like, what's the reason? What is the genuine reason for that? Either one, they're sad, two, they're bored, or three, they're fucking idiots. No. I'm doing that for an example. That's a great question. How are adults supposed to know what their kids are saying online? First of all, a lot of, preteens live with their adults, their parents. So majority of the time, they could hear it. They could hear their kid calling some other person the N-word, a retard, whatever, that comes to their small brain. And the parents don't do shit about it. They hire their TV or do something. Okay, Joe, let's say they're not home. First of all, let's say, okay, yeah, when I got home from school, nobody was home, so let's play a video game. I think certain companies, just like with Sony over here, I think, like, Sony has a built-in mic and their controllers. And PS5, I know for, currently, if you say shit in a lobby, it could record you, and it could be sent to, like, headquarters or whatever, and they could ban you. I think that's awesome. I think that's fucking awesome. A controller that records you, and you're accountable for your fucking stupidity. I think that's great. I think that's fucking great, in my opinion. I like certain things like that, and the person gets mad for them to record their voice and audio. No, I'm not saying privacy. You have an amendment to say what the fuck you want. But what I'm saying is you should be punished for saying things that are rude to others. That's what I'm saying. Are you allowed to record underage kids? Okay, that's, you know what? Let's have a debate about that. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's an awesome question. Okay. Are you allowed to record underage kids? Guess what? Okay. Okay, perfect example. This is a rated M game. The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. This is a rated M game. Guess what? When you go to a game store and they say, "Hey, you know this has blood, violence, curse words, and your kid's only 11." And guess what the parents say? "Oh, I don't care." You know how I know that? Because I used to work at one. Ask any employee that works at a game store, and they've heard it all. Yeah, whatever. Give my shitling whatever game they want. So, if you put this disc in your console, and you put it in, guess what? You are not legally obligated as a minor anymore. You are 17 plus no matter what age you are. So absolutely, if you are playing a rated M game and you are a minor, absolutely record their voices, absolutely, and make them held accountable. That also brings me to a great story. Recently, I think about 6 months ago or something, there was a Call of Duty player here on Twitch, actually, and they were 7 years old. They were an amazing player. They were an amazing player, like I think top 20 at 7 years old. And you know what Twitch said? Banned. And guess what? They locked their account because rules are rules. You can't do certain things, and you can't be playing underage games if you are underage. You can't have a Twitch account if you're underage. That's just the rules. I'm using rated M games as an example for this, because the reason why I use rated M games is because those are statistically proven to be the most toxic games. And I'm not using single player games as an example simply because you play by yourself. I'm taking the most logical explanation here. But I like your questions a lot. But absolutely, I don't like, rules are rules. Without rules, society would be a mess, and the punishment should be held accountable. Absolutely. You can't get mad at a company. If you go to work and kick your boss in the balls and then you get sent to jail, what are you going to say? He deserved it? No. You got to be held accountable. And absolutely, if you play a rated M game, granted, your parents will not be held accountable for your fucking Twitch account, for an example, or your Microsoft account or your PlayStation account. They will not be held responsible because on what your little shitling did, and they lost all their progress. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you're fucking stupid to a certain extent, yeah, you should be punished. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, Shy, those were amazing questions. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you sign off, and you break some rules, absolutely. I think, with that being said, I think if more companies enforce that, the toxicity of people will go away to a certain extent. And then people will bitch about it on Twitter and Reddit and Instagram. Oh man, this company's doing this. Nobody, their fans will be like, oh, okay, that fucking company's wrong. But the outside people will never ask, hey, did you deserve it? Why'd they do it? It's like the judicial system. And a lot of people just don't take responsibilities for their actions. Some do, but if you're that person, I'm not talking about you. I definitely think, like I said, a lot of things changed for the worse. And like I said, I put up internet browser, and I'm looking at all these mini stories, all fucking negative, and it's like I said, like the first main story, the Taliban are back. You can't fucking travel no more. More kids are dying, and like I said, it's that's what gets people's attention. You know, there's a reason if you see a news article or you watch the news, the last 2 minutes are like of a cute dog or like a fucking doing something, because it's the palate cleanser. Where I'm not saying, like, the world is so fucked up, but we don't need to hear about it every day, you know? It's just like, there should be a way, if I want to look up something, you know, via ads or whatever, to turn that fucking shit off. You know, but you can't. Ads will never die. And, you know, there's just certain things that just won't happen, and tough shit, deal with it or live under a rock. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, maybe I'll just live in the forest and be like, oh, I don't know what day it is. That's it. But disciplining should absolutely be right. Absolutely. Like, I think it's a dead breed now. I mean, everybody has their coping mechanisms, but like I said, it is what it is. And if you guys have any more questions, please do ask. But I think I went through how am I doing, Twitch update, mental health, about me, getting better, going to the doctors. That's it. And like I said, my main thing is, if you don't agree, that's okay. That's okay. That's one of my premises, where you may not agree with what everything I say, and I may not agree with you if you have a voice. You know, it is sort of a discussion, and it's interesting to me, because you will have those people like Shy that ask questions and want to know where the fuck's my head at and why, and you know, what the fuck do you mean, or like clarify something so small. And it's nice. It's really nice, because for me, I know I'm a prick. You know, I know I'm an asshole, and I don't intend to be. It's just how I say things to a certain extent, where, you know, in my opinion, I feel like I treat people very nice. If I like you, then I try to treat you with respect and everything. But on the off point, certain things I do are not cool in a lot of people's minds. Like I said, when I told people, look, I'm gonna be away for 2 months, you know, peace out, you know, I'm going ghost. I'll be back whenever I want. A lot of people will be like, that's not cool. A lot of people. But in my defense, like I've said, I talk about a lot of things, where I talk when I did Twitch, where I talked about what the fuck's going on. Like this premise of this podcast, for example, where I tell you what's going on, I tell you where my head's at, if I'll be back, X, Y, and Z. Where, you know, a lot of things, not a lot of things, but some things, especially because I have a voice and I use it, I come off as an asshole. You know, and that's okay. You know, people just have to deal with it. But if you don't tell me like where your head's at, I don't know. You know, I like to know where people's heads at. But you know, like I said, with certain things, I'm stubborn and I just won't do what the fuck you're saying because I just don't agree with it. But everybody has a voice. It's just a matter of time if you use it or not, and that's plain and simple. Uh oh, I forget who Dolphin is. Sorry, Dolphin, if you're listening. But okay, we covered that. Did I talk about what I'm doing with Twitch? I can't remember. I need like a notepad. I really do. I really need a notepad. And we talked about fucking discipline. A lot of things also I talk about the fly. Because I've realized since I talk so much, one thing connects with another. And you know, it is what it is. So I'm just trying to think what the fuck I talked about. And like I said, if you have comments, questions, or concerns, now's your time to ask. Because we are coming up with on the hour. And we take it from there. But yeah, I'm better. I'm better, like I said. Yeah, so I guess the last topic, as always, is Twitch. If people don't know, or if you're Benile, if this is your first time listening, what happened to Twitch? So still currently, I will only be playing. I will only be streaming whenever I feel like. Personally, because I don't like Twitch anymore. Since staying away from media in general, I've been doing it for years now, and I will count it as I failed. And that's it. I am at the point where a lot of things currently are very bad. Twitch is in a very bad place, and I don't think I'm mentally stable enough to do it as much as I used to. 2019, I streamed every day. 2020, I was good. I started streaming in like 2018, 2017. And now getting my shit together and keeping stress away, it's just not worth it. It's really not. I mean, I don't really have a community anymore. I think I have my friends, and that's it. Where time zones are hard. You know, if I move out of Arizona and time zones get better, then I will stream. And working nights, it's hard. It's 4 a.m. to 11 a.m. or 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., which both time zones are very hard. Now that really Twitch has become pay to win, and you could basically pay Twitch to be front page, that is another bad POV where I fucking hate it. And I just really don't have that personality to do it anymore. At this point, I would rather do OnlyFans and stream off there. But I I don't do that pay to win shit where I may eventually go down a different platform and do it from there, but right now, if I want a game, lately I've been gaming off camera, which is very weird for me. And like I said, being away for 2 months, now, you know, doing shit that makes me happy, Twitch isn't worth my stress anymore. Where I used to look at the numbers or the analytics after every stream, and now that I really deemed myself as a failure with Twitch, that relief has really came off my shoulders, and I really haven't focused on it. Where I haven't really, when I did Twitch full time, it wasn't worth my effort. I don't think many people gave a shit. I think a lot of people just stayed, say hello, lurked, and that's fucking it. And then with toxic people and Twitch is ruled by bots, I don't want to deal with it. I've called it a failed project. I don't think I'll be deleting it, but I just won't be using it as much anymore. So, I mean, I think one of my nails in my coffin was I had about 4K followers on there, and I deleted 2,500 followers. I took 6 hours out of my day, and I went through every follower, and I banned them, so they automatically unfollow me, and then I unbanned them, which just means if they're unfollowed, and if they come back, they could follow. And I'm very happy I did that, because like I said, if I stick with my motto and I have friends and not followers, people will maybe stay and partake in the conversation. But I'm not doing pity anymore. I know, especially a lot of people know that I'm in a rough time and did things that I didn't want them to do. And I take it as support, but with the grain of salt, where if I don't really deserve it, I'm not going to listen to it anymore. And I'm going to be very strict about that. Where that's it. You know, I think a lot of things are gonna change if I come back to it and just do it from there. Where if I have motivation to do it, then I do it. If not, then that's it. But right now, Twitch is on the failure list, where Twitch is really gonna be only something I do point blank if I have nothing better to do. If I worked out, if I showered, if I worked or whatever, then I'll do it. Then I'll do it. And or if I have time to kill, then I'll do it. Or I just may do a podcast like this where just say whatever comes to mind. But I'm sick of dealing with fucking stress, and I don't need it. I don't need this shit. And that's it. So like I said, if you want to unfollow because you're not getting your daily content, I get it. I fucking get it. There are billions content creators out there where, you know, I get it. You leave and that's it. But you guys deserve better. And I'm not it. So, you know, I get it. You leave, and that's it. But with that being said, recap, I'm doing better. People are assholes. And I'll see you all soon. Maybe. But take care. And I'll be active on media, so if you want to contact me, you can. Alright. Bye-bye, chat.